What's up, guys? It's me again, Christian Rodriguez, and today I wanted to talk about. I've already made a video on this, but it's such a good topic. It's such a very powerful topic that I'm going to talk about it again, and I do not give a shit. But you need to have a growth mindset over a fixed mindset. Now, I was just reading The One Thing by Gary Keller. It's a great book. I highly recommend you read it. I'm not done with it yet. I'm still in the process of reading it. But if you're thinking about reading a book next, I highly recommend you give that book a try. You read it, listen to the audiobook, whatever one. But yes, about having a growth mindset, right? That's the thing. Many people, I could tell by the way they speak and why they're not successful or in anything, right? Like, I'll give you an example for fitness, right? Fitness is something easy to talk about, plus that's something that I'm in shape. So people like would tell me like, like the reason why I'm not in shape is because of my genetics and stuff like that. It's because of my genetics. I'm not in shape. I don't know anything about, my dad wasn't fit, so that means I'm not fit, right? I even hate saying that, to be honest with you. But you see, like they already came with the conclusion that they're never gonna be fit because their dad was fat or something, or their dad was fat and out of shape. So now that's what they're gonna be. They're gonna be fat and out of shape. They're gonna be like Tom from the local bus driver. They're gonna be fat like Tom because they grew up seeing guys like Tom all the time in the local area. But you have to be very careful with this. This is why when it comes to most people, you cannot listen to most people because most people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That's one. Two, I would say that when it comes to having a growth mindset, right? Expect it. You have to expect failure. That's the thing. People avoid it. And it sucks. Failure sucks ass. It's not fun, but you almost have to enjoy it. Like, you have to be like, okay, I'm making progress. Like, most people don't have the guts to fail at this. And I took a shot. I struck out swinging, and I'm just gonna wait for my at bat again, or I'm gonna go for my another at bat and go for the home run or the grand slam. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Most people have a fixed mindset. You have to get that drilled into your head. Most people have a fixed mindset. You want to have a growth mindset, right? A growth mindset, right? I didn't come from an athletic family. I didn't come from I didn't my parents weren't jacked. My parents weren't in shape growing up, right? I grew up looking at I remember I still am a big NFL fan, but I remember watching the NFL and seeing guys like Adrian Peterson, right? And I'm like, man, this guy's a beast, right? And then you would see him and you see this guy has like abs, right? Like in the locker room, and this guy's like shredded and he's strong, and I'm like, man, I want to have a body like that one day, like even as a kid. Or like you're watching movies like Batman, right? Like Christian Bale, and he's jacked. He has like muscle definition. You're like, that's really impressive. Like, I wanna look like that. Or you see the Hulk, you're like, I want to be jacked like the Hulk. Like, we all like enjoy these things. We all genuinely enjoy these things. We enjoy seeing these different characters. We enjoy, like, we low key want to be like them, right? I don't think these movies did very well because we don't want to be like them, right? Same with Captain America, Avengers. We didn't, like, if they were fat and out of shape and looked like regular guys. I don't think those movies would perform too well, right? And this is just one example of fitness, but I'm using fitness so I could get the point across easier, right? But I grew up, right? I got off on a tangent, but I grew up, right? Like seeing that, right? And seeing the people around me like being fat and out of shape, and I'm like, And people would tell me, they're like, oh, it's all right. When you get to my age, when you get to 30, 35, you'll be fat like me. You'll see. You'll be fat like me. And it's like, yeah, but what have you been doing for the past 20 to 30 years? Oh, you've been having beer every night, or every night after work you sit down, watch the baseball game, have a beer, right? And maybe you order a pizza. You order a pie of pizza. You order a large pepperoni pizza every Friday, and you're always eating shit food. Well, then it explains why you're fat out of shape. It's not because of your genetics. It's because you have a fixed mindset. And that's the thing. You cannot have a fixed mindset. You really have to. It's almost like Emily Fletcher. She's the author of Stress Less, Accomplish More. It's a meditation book. She talked about she had this quote that really resonated with me. It's a bit cliche, but it's very, very I would say it's very useful, and I even have it written down on my wall. It's water the flowers, not the weeds. Right? And the weeds is that old fixed mindset that most lazy people have, most people that I grew up with have. And if I had a fixed mindset, I would not have the physique, I would not be in shape like I am now. I wouldn't have trained combat sports. I wouldn't have, I'm not saying that I'm the best at combat sports, but I wouldn't know how to protect myself. I wouldn't have trained any of that stuff. I would have never solo traveled. I would have never learned French, which is my third language, right? I would have never moved to Chicago and started my own business. I wouldn't have started posting social media content if I had a fixed mindset. So you got to really think about it, right? Yes, you're going to have that imposter syndrome, that you're going to feel like it's unachievable. It's going to be impossible to achieve. But I'm telling you, there was a point that I didn't think having six-pack abs and being jacked was possible. Seriously, I didn't think that was possible, ever. When I was younger, I did not think that was possible. I almost thought I was shooting for the moons. I was I was shooting for something that wasn't realistic, right? I almost thought that. And I kept working on it. And eventually I achieved it. And that goes with anything that you want. You can get it, you just have to work on it. And you have to mentally put it in here that you have to take just the efforts on it. And even if you fail, failures aren't exactly a bad thing. That's the thing that school teaches. School teaches you that failure is a bad thing. And I think that's why most people have a fixed mindset, because of school, the way school conditions you to do it. But that could be another topic for another time. But yeah, just don't think with a fixed mindset, because a fixed mindset will fuck up your goals. If I'm straight up with you, it will fuck up everything. You will stay mediocre just like everyone else. And that's why I create these videos, because I hear bullshit like this all the time. I hear the way people speak, and it bothers me because I know what it means. I know what it tells me about them. And I grew up hearing about it. And I don't think most people aren't born into a situation where everyone around them is positive and encouraging for their goals, both consciously and subconsciously. Most people sabotage your goals, or they self-sabotage themselves. Hearing shit like, oh, I can't do it, oh, it's too expensive, stuff like that could infuriate, that could get that, not infuriate, but that can get into your head. And then you start using that for your own language. So you got to be very careful with that. That's why you cannot, that's why when it comes to people, I say create some sort of distance from anyone who's like that in your life. If it's friends, I would probably just cut them off. If it's family, create distance. See them as little as you can, I possibly can, because that stuff is dangerous for your goals. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Just think about it like this. I once thought that it was impossible to get fit, to get physically fit, to be jacked. I'm almost 30. I'm 28, and I'm bulking right now, so I definitely don't. I'm not as shredded as I usually am, but I don't think that I like the younger me. If he saw who I was now, he'd be freaking impressed. He'd be like, "Holy shoot, I could get like that." And the point I'm making is that sometimes maybe you don't think it's possible, but just do it for a year and you'll start seeing massive results. Even me learning French. I started a year ago. I started 1 year ago. Maybe a little over a year. But still, I started 1 year ago with just Duolingo, right? Only doing Duolingo. And then from there, I just started watching some videos in French. Beginner videos, because in slow beginner videos, so I could hear and watch the translation. Then I started watching TV shows, and then I started trying to teach myself French. And then I hired a tutor, and I'm not saying that I am great at French. I'm fluent in French yet, but I can speak in French. I can have like a basic conversation. Je peux parler un peu de français, et maintenant mon objectif est parler français et couramment un jour. Et chaque jour, je progresse 1%. Yeah, that's just proof that I could. If I could do that after a year of learning French, then you could do that with anything. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Remember, have a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. Take care.